My name is Wendy Christensen. I'll be your presenter for today. And Tracy Hendricks is my host, joining me with the rest of the TCAL team. Welcome to the PD Coordinators webinar. So we're going to go ahead and move forward, even though some people are still joining us. They'll come in and catch up in a minute. Okay, so our agenda for today, we're going to get updates from the PD centers, the Career Pathways PDC, and also the Distance Education PDC. We'll hear about new conferences, training, statewide events, get our updates from our monthly webinar series announcements, and then we'll also get testing updates from Tracy. After that, we're going to get PD portal announcements and finally end up with PD coordinator time. That's where you get to go ahead and ask your questions if you have any. All right, so we're going to get started with Joan. Joan, are you ready?
I am ready. Okay, hi everyone. So first up, we have two face-to-face PD sessions over phonology and information structuring. These are for instructors, and we will have one on March 1st in Irving and one on March 8th in Victoria. And these are full-day workshops, and our participants will discuss how speech sounds of English are produced, how to analyze speech sounds in your student's first language and compare them to English, and what activities you can do to build your student speaking competence to prepare them to move into or through work in the United States. And whenever we come back after lunch, we will talk about the invisible strings which guide our understanding in language. Attendees will leave understanding the basic theories of information structuring written in English, as well as activities and lesson plans meant to help your ITPs become more competent communicators, whether it's with resumes, applications, emails, or life in general. And registration for those two sessions just opened in the PD portal. It is limited seating, so if you have any instructors that would be interested, please have them register right away. And then on our next slide, thank you, is my save the date for our 2024 Career Pathways Symposium. We are finalizing the agenda right now, and we're getting everything set up on the back end. So registration for our symposium will open very, very soon. And we look forward to seeing all of you May 20th through 22nd down in Corpus Christi. And if y'all have any questions, I will put my email address in the chat, and feel free to reach out. Thank you.
Thank you, Joan. All right, next up, I believe it's Ashley. Are you ready, Ashley?
I'm ready.
Okay, great.
Okay, we have coming up the 9th Annual Distance Learning and Tech Integration Symposium. The date this year will be May 30th through the 31st. We are going to be at Region 20 again, so we're excited about that because we love it there. And this year we're really excited because our keynote is going to be Matt Miller with Ditch That Textbook. So for any of those who follow him, this will be really exciting. He's an amazing presenter. I've seen him present, and he's going to bring so much energy. So I'm very excited to have him. Next slide. A couple announcements from the DEPDC. Our digital literacy content standards training is now available for in-person or virtual training sessions. So you will get that, sign up for that, request that through your PD specialist. We also have, sorry, losing my breath here. Also have the Distance Learning Academy Module 1 training also available online. There's an online version that's already out there that most of us know about anyway. And now there is an in-person available as well. And then the Digital Access and Resilience training, also known as DART, that Dr. Glenda Rose developed, is now available for in-person or virtual as well. Tailie pre-conference, for those of you attending next week, or if you have teachers attending, we are doing our first version of the digital literacy content standards training. This will be a 3-hour version. So Achieving Success with the New Texas Digital Literacy Content Standards will be Wednesday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. So you can register for that. Other sessions that we are going to have at Taylor, one is going to be How to Slay Your Social Media Game, a collaborative session for adult educators. So basically, we are going to be sharing how we have found social media to be effective with our call center and how it can be effective with programs. And then we will, of course, have our road show. So if you know any teachers out there that don't know about the call center and you think they need to learn, please send them our way Saturday at 9:45. Our next tech playground will follow a tech intel that I'm going to let Anne-Marie talk about when it's her turn. But we will be basically doing Book It, which is amazing. I played with it a couple days at our DL Leads meeting, had some fun with that. It's kind of similar to Kahoot, but that will be Friday, February 23rd at 12 p.m. So you can register at the PD portal. This will be your opportunity to actually play with the technology. In addition to that, we also are doing another tech playground that is going to be pretty fun. This is Magic School. And Magic School is an AI tool that is very easy to use. Amazing tool. I mean, it literally let me create a lesson plan in like less than 20 seconds the other day. So it's pretty fun. So if you want an opportunity to play around with AI, then use it to your benefit. Join us on Thursday, February 29th at 12 p.m. Nationally, there is an EdTech strategy session coming up on February 9th, integrating digital literacy into the classroom. And then the second session will be on using tech in correctional settings. And then, of course, if you can't attend Taylor or you haven't had an opportunity, you can request a roadshow from us. We offer 3-hour, 1.5-hour presentations, or you can just have us join you at a staff meeting. We'll do a class introduction, or we can do live demos while we're there. So any of those things, if you find somebody still isn't using the call center, please reach out to your PD specialist and we'll be happy to send somebody your way. And then, of course, we are trying to grow our social media presence. So we do encourage you to join us or have your program join us so that we connect with you and we can connect to your students and help everybody be more successful with their goals. And that's it for me.
Thank you, Ashley. Okay, so next up, we're going to talk about training conferences or statewide events. Paula, are you ready?
I am. Thanks, Wendy. Hello, everyone. I'd like to share with you some dates about some upcoming regional literacy symposiums. These are all free of charge. They are catered and sponsored by Literacy Texas for the community-based organizations and the volunteer AEL programs, but anyone can attend these and registration is free. They just ask you to register online so they can get enough lunches. So you get a free lunch also. The very first Far West Literacy Symposium occurred on January 25th and 26th, and there was over 120 participants. So thanks to Wendy and Krista, it was a phenomenal event. And so are the others. The one at South Texas will be following Taylor on February 24th. It'll be on a Saturday in Edinburgh. And then East Texas will be the following weekend out in Longview. And it will be a face-to-face event also. And all you need to do is register. The April 20th is for the faith-based affiliated programs. So if you collaborate with any of those, please share that because it's an online event and it's totally free. And then Midwest out in Midland, they're going to have their first symposium on April 23rd, which they picked was a Tuesday. And then Central Texas will have an online event on May 9th, and Gulf Coast will have a face-to-face event at United Way in Houston, Texas on June 14th, which is a Friday. And don't forget, if you want to come to the annual literacy conference, it's July 29th through July 31st. Most of the times it goes into August. This time it's just the very end of July. All you need to do is register for that. Now, the annual conference is a fee, but they have scholarships. Thank you, Wendy.
Thank you, Paula. Okay, so next we have Beth up to talk about Taylor.
All right, thank you, Wendy. Just a reminder, it's already been mentioned, Taylor is happening next week. I certainly hope that we see so many of you because we're looking forward to seeing you. It is going to be at the La Quinta Inn and Suites in San Antonio. Registration is still available. The conference hotel is full, but there are a number of hotels in that area. There's several Hilton properties and a big Marriott. So we hope to see you next week, and we'll go on to the next slide. And conference, TOAB conference is going to be in Nashville, March 17th through the 20th. I hope some of you are going to be there in Nashville with us. It will be at the Opryland Hotel, which is a beautiful but massive place. I have been there before. So we look forward to seeing you there. Several of the staff here from TCAL will be there doing presentations. Again, for this one, the conference hotel is full, but they have listed some local hotels that are within a mile of the Opryland on their website. So hope to see some of you there. And I think that's it for me. Thanks, Wendy.
Thanks, Beth. Okay, so we've gone over a lot of information. Do we have any questions at this point? You can add them in the chat, or if it's kind of lengthy, you can unmute and ask in your voice. You got any questions? Give just a few seconds for someone to type. Not seeing any at this point, but again, if something comes up and pops into your head, just go ahead and put in the chat and we'll address it. Okay, so now we're going to go over some updates for our monthly webinars. And first is the Manager Monday. Our next Manager Monday is on the 19th of this month from noon to 1 p.m. Topic is Working the Whirlwind from Kimberly Gaines. She is a guest speaker that we're bringing in, virtually from Alabama. And we hope to see you there. Now, I am currently working on a couple topics for March and April, but they're not for sure, so I haven't put them on our slide today. But I am still looking for topics for the rest of this calendar year. So if there is anything that you have noticed in your program or that your leadership has mentioned to you that you think would be a good topic to cover in a 1-hour webinar, catered towards managers or those in administrative positions, if you could go ahead and shoot me an email. My email is wendy.christensen@tamu.edu. That way we can make sure that we are discussing topics that are relevant to those of you in the field. And then this slide is just a reminder of all the dates for the rest of this calendar year. I'm going to go ahead and put it in the chat for you to copy and then add to your calendar. And I think that is it for Manager Monday. Next up is Krista.
Hi, so Teacher Tuesday, February 20th. Unleash Creativity, Powering Up Your Lessons with EdTech with Ashley Winkle. So please encourage your instructors to join us to get some insight on powering and using EdTech tools in your lesson plans. Yeah. And then the next one is March 12th, and we are bringing back Chandra Joshi and Paula Nations from the MAC, the Math Assistance Call Center. So if you need some brush up on how to use the MAC and what the MAC can do for you, make sure you join us on that day. And that registration is available soon, and it's not quite there yet.
Sorry, Krista, I advanced too quickly.
You're fine. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Krista. Okay, Dr. Olga Escamilla, are you ready?
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Wendy. I just wanted to announce a couple of great sessions coming up. The first one is Capturing Career Services, the who, what, when, how, and why, part 1. So if you want to learn more about capturing career services, participate in the next Workforce Wednesday as we cover the AL letter 0223 and the Office of Career and Technical Adult Education guidance on what career services are or what career services is. And we're going to share about the Teams coding and the cash draw and expenditure reporting. So this is a session that you don't want to miss if you're a director, administrator, coordinator, navigator. So it's a lot of great information that's going to be shared, a lot of great examples. So that's part one, February 21st from 12:30 to 2. And note that this is a 1.5 hour session, a little bit extended because they're going to be sharing a lot of great information. Next slide. And then we have Capturing Career Services, the who, what, when, how, and why part 2. And this session is going to spotlight a panel of adult education literacy programs throughout the state. So join us as program staff share how they incorporate those career services into Teams and through coding and the cash draw and expenditure reporting. So join us for these really important informational sessions that are going to help out programs. Next slide. And then this is just the remaining dates for the year, and I have placed those in the chat. So thanks so much, and join us for Workforce Wednesday.
Thank you, Olga. I look forward to watching those 2 sessions. I know it's going to be very important information that is shared. Okay, next up, Anne-Marie.
All right, so just let me know, Wendy, if the sound is okay. Are we good?
I can hear you fine. You're good.
All right, thank you so much. So as Ashley mentioned earlier during the webinar, February is going to be all about Blue Kit, and it's going to bring back a presenter. So we're so excited to bring back Amber Miller, and Amber's on the webinar today. So let's give a shout out to Amber because she's here joining us today. And Amber is from Austin Community College, and she is going to share her knowledge on this very cool ed tech tool. And so you may wonder what Blue Kit is. And Blue Kit is a new approach to online review games. This free, and again, everything is always free on Tech and Tell, is clean and easy to use. And the free account provides plenty of storage with 15 different game modes to engage students in different ways during every class. And Amber has done 2 other Tech and Tells. One was on Flippity and one was on LearnHip. So if you attended those webinars, this is just something else to add in your toolbox for online game options. So thank you so much, Amber, for joining us. And she will be presenting tomorrow. Registration is in the PD portal right now. And let's all level up classroom engagement with Blue Kit. Next slide. All right, so very excited about this webinar in March. In March, we are going to be welcoming Dr. Katie Welch. And I first met Katie at COABE last year and learned that she lived and worked in Dallas, Texas. So I want to share a little bit about Dr. Welch and then share with you the topic. Dr. Welch Katie Welch is a university instructor, teacher, trainer, and active volunteer in adult education classrooms. In addition to teaching international students at UT Arlington, English Language Institute, and volunteering weekly in a community-based ESL GED program, Katie currently provides professional development to language teachers throughout partnerships with the U.S. Department of State. Katie has innovative classroom ideas and continues to be in the classroom so she can integrate all of her knowledge and skills. And so this in March 1st to be exact, she will be talking about how to integrate the free EdTech tool News in Levels. And it's very simple to use, but there's lots of great resources. So very excited to welcome Katie. And PD portal registration will be coming soon. Next slide. And I am working on April, May, and June dates. And I don't want to share the topics yet because they're still in development, but I'm hoping to really focus on math ed text tools. So stay tuned for that. And next slide.
So this one is just a reminder of if you have ideas, go ahead and let us know with emails. You can see them there on the screen, and Tracy just put them in the chat as well. If you have any ideas for Manager Monday, Teacher Tuesday, Tech and Tell, or Workforce Wednesday, let us know. We want to deliver topics that are important to all of you. Thank you, Anne-Marie. All right, what do we have next? Some questions. Any questions? Let's give a few seconds. Anything come to mind? I noticed that we had some questions in the chat, but I think people have posted answers to them. Dates for Teacher Tuesday, they're going to be forthcoming. Links to COABE, things like that. Any other questions?
I have one.
Yes.
Could we have links dropped into the notes in the PD portal? I'm on my phone and it's really hard to save the links.
Uh-huh.
So I was just wondering, I know y'all post the videos, but if we could have links put in there somewhere as well, it'd be great.
So I'm not sure, Beth, is that something that, well, would it be available in the slides if we place the PDFs of the slides in there? How would that work?
Yeah, not necessarily. It depends. But Marie, I can work with our learning management team. We probably just can put together a real simple Word document and make it accessible. So I'll work on that and get that taken care of for you.
That would be great. Sometimes it's hard to go back and find the links that we need.
Understood.
Thanks, Marie. Thanks, Beth. Okay. Tracy is here to talk about testing updates. I know we're all looking forward to that. Tracy, are you ready?
I'm ready. Thank you,
Okay.
Wendy, and good afternoon, everyone. And okay, so there are so many questions swirling around about all the upcoming test updates. And so I thought this sign was appropriate. Who, where, what, when, how. And we even had those earlier with Olga's announcement, Dr. Olga's announcement. But I'm going to do my best to keep you updated as the spring unfolds with the latest information. So here we go. Here we go. Wendy, next slide. Okay, so y'all have seen this slide a few times, and I'm going to probably keep this in for any new folks that are attending or listening, just to keep clear what have been recently, well, approved last June, actually, these tests. Best Plus 3.0, Best Literacy 2.0 will be new. CASAS Steps, which will replace the current ESL tests, and CASAS Math Goals, and I should have put 2.0 after that. I'll change that for next time. So the current versions that you're using right now are approved for use through June. Next slide. Sorry, there's lots of noise on my end. So let's start with this. Informational webinars. I'm going to be having informational webinars probably in April and May with all of the publishers. So we've gotten the CASAS one secured first on April 23rd. I'll let you know when the registration's available in the PD portal. And our goal with the informational webinars will be for them to share, the publishers to share with you any changes that they've got with the tests, and all of them have changes. So we'll have them talk about their changes. And then I also want them to share a little bit about the benefits of using their test. And I think it's best coming from them. so that you can hear that. We will record these sessions so that when the new funding year starts in July, if people want to go back and listen to the recording again, or when we have new grantees as well, they can listen to these recordings. So this is just something in the works, and just kind of save the date for April 23rd if you're interested in CASAS, and it will be in the afternoon. And again, we'll share that information when it's ready. Next slide, please. So with Best Plus 3.0, what we do know at this point is for the test administrator training for Best Plus 3.0, coming soon will be a free online self-paced course available through August 2024. And so it's about a course that takes about 8 to 10 hours, self-paced, obviously is what that says. And we will want y'all to take advantage of this course while it's free through August. So keep that in mind. Cal will probably put out the announcement or listserv announcements, but we'll also let you know when that course is ready for people to go through. Keep in mind as we're talking about tests, that your programs are not going to be able to use these new tests for MSGs and reporting until July 1st. There will be opportunity as we learn about them for some programs who want to do pilot testing. So TWC, Mahalia will be letting you know about that information as soon as we know about it. The certified Best Plus trainers that are currently certified, they'll take the online course when it's available, and they will need to administer 20 Best Plus 3.0 tests. Cal will reach out to the current trainers this spring, and we will help reinforce and reach out to trainers as well. And if you have questions, put them in the chat as we go through this. I'm sure you have lots of questions, and I'm just trying to share what I know as I know it. So next slide, please. So for Best Literacy, it will be 2.0. The Texas Style Best Literacy 2.0 test administrator training is being developed. We're working on that right now. And a training of trainers will be available in May and June for this. Next slide. So with CASAS, the training plans are that the current Texas Style CASAS test administrator training is being revised as well. And what we will do for the currently certified trainers, the ones who are currently certified, we will do a recertification webinar probably in May, and it will be a mandatory webinar. So the webinar will probably be about 3 hours long. We will go over with the trainers all of the changes and things that they need to know regarding the new test series. If a currently certified trainer doesn't come to the mandatory webinar, and we'll have the date early enough that everybody can get it on their calendar. If they don't attend this webinar, then we will deactivate the materials for anyone who doesn't attend it. And we might do it a couple of times, but we hope to get the date out early enough, soon enough, so that currently certified trainers, and we'll get the word out, we'll email them, communicate with them several times to make sure they're aware of that date, because that will be very important. So they can then have access to the newly revised materials. And we'll have the TOT ready for this in May or June as well. So the next slide talks about TABE tests. So what we know about TABE tests, TABE Class C Online they will just be changing the forms. They'll be going from the current A and B forms that are approved through June of this year, and they'll switch over to test forms C and D, which will start July 1st. We do have a Texas Style TABE Class C online training And we do have trainers available to do that training if your program is interested or needs this training. So we recently did a TOT for this Texas style tape Class C test administrator training. So we are ready to go finally with the materials for that. With tape 11 and 12, that is approved through June 2025. So at this point, that's where we land. And tape 13, 14, the approval for this from the NRS will probably come out this spring. And we're awaiting decisions from TWC regarding the transition for Texas. Okay, I see there's a couple of questions. Let me answer those. Tiffany's asking if we have staff that need a refresher and best oral 2.0 and best literacy, do we go ahead and hold the training, or should we wait until the new trainings come out? Ooh, that's a really good question, Tiffany. I'm not sure I know the answer to that. I think that's a great question. I don't know. I think we're gonna have to get back to you on that one. Unless anyone from TWC wants to jump in here, but I will grab that question and we'll try to have an answer for you by the next PD coordinator webinar. And then, okay, Sandra's asking how long the best plus test administrator online will be. It is estimated to take 8 to 10 hours. It's rather lengthy. And then will there be a tape 11, 12 TOT available prior to the new tape coming up? Probably, yes. And again, Sandra, that's a great question. It's kind of dependent upon when Texas is going to do the transition to the new tape 13, 14. So that's a good question. It's kind of, I'm not sure of the answer to that. We'll try to get the answer. And then Amber is asking, yes, Amber, so for the Best Plus, anyone that is currently certified as a Best Plus tester, they're going to need to take that Best Plus 3.0 training as well. Yes, great question. There's so many moving parts. I often concentrate on.
So they have to take the 8 to 10 hour training and do 20 tests, but the new testers don't?
No, that's just for the trainers.
Oh, for the trainers. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I missed that.
And
Okay,
we can go back to that slide if that's helpful. But yes, for test administrators, they just need, thank you, Wendy, you're so sweet. Go back one more.
Is it this one?
Yes.
Okay.
Thanks so much. So for test administrators, they're going to need to take that self-paced online course. And then certified Best Plus trainers have a little more to do. They're the ones that need to administer the 20 Best Plus 3.0 tests before Cal will certify you as trainers the trainers to be Best Plus trainers.
Okay. Thank you. That's what I had in my notes. I just, in my mind, it was different.
No, this is a lot. This is really a lot. So, and thank you so much for going back to that slide, Wendy. I appreciate it. Okay, so we're still waiting on information, as you can tell. There's still things kind of, in play here, I guess. So the next slide is just a little teaser then about the new test that we're going to be using in Texas beginning July 1. It's called WorkKeys. And I added for HSE because it's got the graphic documents for reading and applied math for the math. And so this is a test that we've learned about. We had a work group about this test and provided a report to Mahalia. She decided to go ahead and allow this in Texas as an option for programs that wish to use this. And the folks that were on the work group felt like this test would be great for IET students, other intensive students that are going to work or workplace classes, that kind of thing. Because as you can see, their questions for the reading and the math are toward workplace scenarios. So we will be having an informational webinar about this as well, and try to get out information for all of you so that you can decide whether you want to add this to your arsenal of tests to use in coming July 1st. So we'll be getting you information about that as we have it. All right, so that is all of the questions the slides that I have about testing and test updates that I know of. I will take note of the questions that y'all have had that I'm not sure of the answer and provide them to you the next time. And I appreciate any questions that you have in general. And if you have questions that have been kind of like the ones that have been asked, feel free to ask your PD specialist. And if they don't know, they'll reach out to me. Our TOT team is working with all the publishers very closely, because as you can see, as Beth said, there are so many moving parts here. And we're just trying to capture everything we can and keep you informed. And I know Mahalia will be doing the same thing for the directors at the weekly calls. And so we're just trying to help you as much as possible. And okay, Deb, I think, is next about.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Thanks, Tracy. Thanks,
You are
Wendy. Hi,
welcome.
everyone. Speaking of assessments, we have what will most likely be the last order of our current Best Literacy and Best Plus 2.0 orders. It's currently live. We did have some folks. Somehow I got muted, sorry. We did have some folks who had requested us to go ahead and put this out, so we have. However, I just looked at the order forms and we don't have any current orders. So I'm putting. Why this is not going, I don't understand. Let me try that. There we go. I'm putting the links in the chat pod. You see it here on the screen. Just remember, these are only going to be the tests that you will use between now and June 30th of this year. So don't order any more than what you'll need. I know that in a conversation we had, there was some discussion that they might consider buying back something. I don't remember what that was, and Tracy, you can remember. But we don't want you to have a big surplus where you'll just have a lot of stuff that doesn't get, you can't send back for credit. The deadline is noon Friday, a week from tomorrow. Please share this information with whoever at your program needs to hear it, because we'll do these, webinars, we'll send out the emails, and then subsequently I'll get an email right after the deadline from someone that said, oh, they didn't tell me, but I needed to order some best materials. So please, if you have an internal program email list, please let them know this will be probably the last order of the regular materials before we get the brand new ones that we'll have starting in July. Just be sure to order what you can for the program year. I put the links in the chat, so.
Thank you, Deb.
Yep.
All right. Anybody else have any additional questions that they have thought of for Tracy or Deb regarding testing before we move forward? I don't see any additional questions in the chat. Okay, I'm going to move forward. We're going to go to PD portal announcements. And Jessica, you are up.
Hi, everyone. I'm excited to share with you. We have two new courses that will be in the portal soon. No new courses currently, but these are coming, and these were 2 popular Teacher Tuesdays. So be on the lookout for I'm Not a Counselor, but My Students Need Help, and What Does Self-Care Really Look Like? Next, we have an update. So you all might be familiar with the DL Academy Module 1, Nuts and Bolts, which was a version from 2019. We have revamped it. It is refreshed and revitalized for a post-pandemic world. Major facelift. So lots of changes. It's a really great course. So that is available in the PD portal now. A couple of changes that I want you all to be aware of. That older course, that Nuts and Bolts course, was 3 PD hours, but this one is 3.25 PD hours. And then the old course will be deactivated and removed from the PD portal on Friday, February 16th. So anybody that currently has that on their transcript as in progress has already been notified. They've received some emails, so they know that they have until Friday the 16th to complete that course. Next, Yoli and I are working on our active user audit. This comes out every 3 to 4 times a year. We will send those PD coordinators a report of the active participants in the PD portal. And we ask that you review this list and provide the necessary feedback so we know who is no longer working with your program. This is important so we can keep our accounts current and ensure that we have enough open seats for any new staff members. So we hope to send that email out to you on Monday. What is that? The 12th. We'll send that out on the 12th, and then we hope to have your feedback by the 26th. And then we'll each email different programs, and so just reply back to the person that emailed you. And then if you have any questions, feel free to email us. And then encourage your staff members to log into the PD portal in order for their account to stay active. We try to deactivate anybody that has not been active for about 6 months. And then lastly, we talked a little bit about Taylor at the beginning of this meeting, but Laura Greer and I will be doing a presentation about Mastering Reporting 2.0. So this is a session for you all and to help you understand more about Reporting 2.0 in the PD portal and how you can utilize it to meet your PD portal needs, your PD needs, excuse me. We're going to talk about how to sort and use Excel and use that data to monitor and track your PD hours. So come see us on Friday the 16th.
Okay, thank you, Jessica. I didn't see any questions pop up in the chat, but Deb says, yay, this is so helpful even to those of us in the office who need to gather some data. And I agree. If you are new, or even if you're, a seasoned PD coordinator and you're still working on those reports in the portal, that's going to be a good session to go to if you're at Taylor, because those reports are so helpful. All right, Krista, it's PD coordinator time. Are you ready?
I think I am.
Okay.
All right. Big thing on the horizon is the PD plan follow-up due February 15th. Hopefully you've been working with your PD specialists for any assistance you may need on that. I've actually have received a few of them, so good for you for being early. That's awesome. Make sure you send them to your AEL contracts, your TWC program support specialist, and your PD specialist. And again, reach out to us for any assistance you need on filling out that plan. All right, next slide. And I'm going to pass it over to Beth for this one.
All right. Thank you, Krista. Just wanted to let everybody know, especially if you're a new PD coordinator, that once a year, we send out a survey to the entire field to help identify professional development needs for the coming year. And we'll put together a report based on this survey, as well as looking at Teams data, the NPR report. We'll look at all kinds of things to come up with some recommendations for professional development for the coming year. So this is just hot off the presses. I believe that the email with the link went out while we were in our meeting. And it's really important for us to get as much feedback as we can from everyone in the field, from administrators, from teachers, directors, instructional aides, data entry people. We need everybody to fill out this survey, because it really does help us help you to meet your professional development needs. And it also helps us as we plan on content development. What are some things that you all need that maybe we don't have yet in the PD portal? So I'm just really encouraging you to share this widely We're gonna close the survey on February 29th. So you've got a few weeks to get that filled out for us. And we just, again, really do appreciate your input as we continue our planning for the next year. Thanks, Wendy.
Great, thanks, Beth. And Deb said, yes, the email did go out. And then Tracy did put the link to the survey in the chat. So you have 2 places to look for that link. We look forward to seeing all of the responses come in. Okay, Krista, you're back up.
Okay, so the next 3 for this program year for us is March 7th, April 11th, and May 9th. And I will also get this calendar updated for starting in June throughout the rest of the year. So make sure you register and launch through your transcript.
And I don't know that Rena is here today, but this is just a reminder that the Distance Education Call Center is there to help you and your staff and your students. We always like to put that reminder out there for you. Any additional questions that came up before we let you enjoy the rest of your afternoon? Okay, everyone, thank you so much for joining us. We will see you next month, March 7th. Enjoy the rest of your day.